I'm your host, Andrea, back to bring you news and commentary you can use. So I want to say hello and happy, what's today, y'all? Wednesday? Today is Wednesday. That's right. I had to look down at the date and the time on my computer, which is right in front of me. So I hope you're doing well. I hope your family is doing well. Listen, thank you all so much for tuning in with me. I want to come on today and talk a little bit about the water crisis that's happening right now in the South and the Southern United States, which is where I'm located. I'm here in Georgia. Welcome, welcome. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I see that some of you all are joining, and I want to say good afternoon. Okay, it's almost 1 o'clock now. It's 12:50 here on the East Coast. And so I want to say good afternoon to you all. I hope you're doing well. I hope your family is doing well. And thank you so much for being here. Okay, so let me share this so that my subscribers, supporters, just like you, will know that I'm live. You all let me know. Are you able to hear me and see me clearly? Please let me know that you can hear me and see me clearly. Okay, before I get started. All right, let me share this to our community tab. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, I would like to invite you to subscribe, join our community. That way, whenever I am live or whenever I upload new videos every week, you'll be informed and you'll be able to stay connected. Okay, so hello, hello to everyone tuned in, to everyone watching. Thank you all so much for your support. Again, please let me know that you can hear me and see me clearly before we begin. Okay. All right. So thank you all so much. Going to be talking about the water crisis and why you and I, even if you don't live in the South, okay, I'm located in the South. I told you all I live in Georgia. And so I want to talk about why we all should be concerned. Okay. Let me share this to the community tab. All right, so I'm sharing that to our community tab so that others can join in. All right, how is the weather where you are? It's still cold here in Georgia. Um, the temperatures they say are supposed to get warmer. I told y'all this is some unusual weather that we're having. And so, excuse me, I may have to sneeze. Thought I there it is. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. And so they said supposed to get warmer. We'll see, but we know over the past several months, over the past year, we've been having unusual weather pretty much throughout the U.S. Okay, have on my little scarf here. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Please let me know for those of you all who are watching now live, or if you're watching the replay, let me know how is the weather in your current area. The current temperature, according to my laptop, which is right here in front of me, that's why I keep looking down. The laptop says that currently it's about 51 degrees where I am, so still, pretty cold. They do say that it's supposed to warm up maybe later in the week, even into next week. So let me know, what are you seeing? What are you feeling in your current area? Okay. All right, y'all. So I want to talk about the water crisis that's happening. So over the past few days, I've been sharing news, whether it was what I was seeing, what I was feeling, as far as the temperature, what I was seeing in my local area. And also I was sharing reports of surrounding areas, different parts of Georgia as well. Okay. Um, what a lot of people, what a lot of people, thankfully, it hasn't, excuse me, thankfully, it hasn't been my family's experience, but what many families are experiencing here in Georgia, and as I'm doing my research and I'm looking at other areas, I'm finding that a lot of families, a lot of businesses, a lot of communities are dealing with the fact that because of extreme temperatures, extremely cold temperatures, near freezing and freezing temperatures here in the South, um, a lot of residential areas, commercial areas, businesses, communities, they have experienced water pipe breaks. Okay. You know that when water freezes, it expands, and the pressure that comes with that has caused pipes to burst, which in turn has, caused water to just flow out. Thank you all so much, all of you all who are watching. Hello, good afternoon. Maybe some of you, if you're watching in a different time zone, maybe it's still morning, so I'll say good morning as well. But many people are dealing with water main breaks, some communities, water main breaks, water pipe breaks, and it has left them not only with water damage, but also without access to water. So I want to talk about that. If you have any knowledge of people in your area, maybe if you've been affected, please make sure that you share that here on the channel. This is a place where we share information. We, share information to help each other find solutions, things like that. There are businesses, and I'll talk about a couple of stories that I found. Businesses have had to shut down. Me, myself, on what day was that? Monday. I stopped to get gas. I shared this story in one of my previous videos, but on Monday, I actually stopped to get gas at a Murphy gas station. I think they're affiliated, maybe owned by Walmart. And the employee, she was actually outside the store. The door was locked because I was going in to pay cash, and she was saying how she had to close the store. She had just had a pipe burst, and so that's something I experienced firsthand. And some people, a lot of people are dealing with that here in Georgia and parts of the South. So I want to come on and I want to share some stories with you and make you aware of what's going on. And I want to say, even if it's not happening in your area, you may want to, pay attention and find out, especially, if you're in the South. There was one subscriber who shared that in the South, because parts of the South are not used to the extremely cold temperatures. This was according to one subscriber here on the channel. That person was saying that that is what, caused so many pipes to burst. But, and, I could understand that. That does make sense. But because it's happening so many different places, and in many cases, it's kind of like it's happening here. It's just popping up left and right. It makes me want to say, hey, wait a minute. Like, is there something bigger going on? Like, it almost feels like some sort of attack, if you could understand what I'm saying, because it's just happening so much and so rapidly. So much so that, I went out and got more water yesterday, because I'm like, okay, if it's happening, it obviously is here in Georgia, and it's happening in Georgia. I don't want to be I don't want to be, or I don't want my family to be in a situation where, we need water, or we need more water. Okay. And we don't, we run out or something like that. So make sure you watch my video yesterday, where I actually went back to the store, or I was on the way to the store at the time. And I was just kind of, giving some information in that video. Okay. All right. So thank you all again for your support and for tuning in. I want to talk about what's happening in Charleston. This is coming out of Charleston, South Carolina. Okay. If any of you all are watching from South Carolina, I want to give you all a shout out. Here was a headline that I saw today. So before I start talking about it, let me talk about this water crisis, right? There was an article I read yesterday that called it a water crisis. Many people, in order to for the people who are, let me give you some context here. For the people who are experiencing water main breaks, okay, in order to fix the issue, they have to turn off the water. So there are people that have been without water for days. Um, and when I say people, I'm talking about men, women, elderly, disabled, children, going for water without days. Um, people that are renters having to rely on either their apartment complex, leasing office, or their landlord to fix it. And, in many cases, they have said they haven't, at least in the Atlanta area, in one article I'm going to share, they were saying that, you know, they hadn't been told any information. They were told to call a number, and they called the number, and all they got was a recording, or, nothing was really shared. And this shouldn't be happening. I feel like all of us, regardless of age and, other factors, everyone deserves access to clean water, whether it's to drink, to bathe with, to cook with, whatever. Okay. So let me tell you what's going on. So as far as that, right? So it's basically created a crisis because so many people are in need of water. And I even said that, hey, if this is happening in Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, all these different areas, and everybody's, trying to get access to bottled water, that's going to eventually create a shortage and possibly even put limits on how much water you can get. There was in our community tab right here on the channel, I shared with you all how there was an area of Georgia. It was in the metro Atlanta area, and they were actually passing out bottled water to the residents to help them. And do you know they were requiring proof of address? And I was like, wow, you got to have proof of address just to get free water. But I assume, now I don't know, but I assume that was because they want to help the residents in that community versus people coming from all these other areas, which is what I'm trying to warn you about. People coming from other areas trying to, get access to water as well. We know water is essential to life. And if people get in a situation where they need water, they're going to, I would assume they would do whatever they needed to do, including take yours possibly in order to get what they need to survive. Okay. So again, as I share this information with you, it's not to scare you, it's to make you aware because, I want you to think about, hey, if this is happening in these areas that are not far away or close by where you're living, then what you want to think about is, hey, what do I need to do to prepare, to get my family prepared so that, you know, you'll have what you need. Okay. All right. So again, I want to welcome everyone to the channel and thank you all for your support. Okay. So I'm typing this now. Please like, share, and I want to give you an invitation to subscribe. Okay. All right, y'all. So let me go ahead and share my first article here out of Charleston, South Carolina. Okay. So if you're watching or you know someone from Charleston, South Carolina, please make sure you share this video with them. Say hello in the chat if you're tuning in, and also subscribe to the channel so that you can stay updated. Okay. Now, this news comes out of Charleston, South Carolina from Charleston WCSC TV, okay? The title of the article, okay, caught my attention, and it says that the Charleston water system, and I quote, is only a few steps away from a catastrophe. Okay, y'all, so out of Charleston, South Carolina, it says, and I quote, a perfect storm of frigid temperatures and the holidays has caused a water crisis in the low country. Okay, that's according to officials with the Charleston water system. Okay, is anyone tuning in from South Carolina or Charleston? Y'all, the article says it's only a few steps away from a catastrophe. Now, again, all across the South, states were dealing with very extreme, unusually cold temperatures, and it's creating a water crisis. Listen to what's happening in Charleston, South Carolina, y'all. Okay. Here's a quote by the Charleston Water System spokesperson who said, and I quote, "We're absolutely still in a crisis and frankly only a few steps away from a catastrophe that will be a boil water notice." Okay, that's happening all across Georgia in many, many, many other states. Okay, that's why I want you to understand how very serious this is, because we don't know how long this is going to last, and how many more incidences are going to keep popping up. Okay, currently the article says 100 million gallons of water a day. That's a lot of water, y'all. 100 million gallons of water a day are being used in the low country, while normally they use about 30 to 45 million gallons. That's a huge difference, right? That's 50 to 60 million gallons of water being spilled. It's being spilled. It's not going in something, in a tub. It's not being cooked with. That's 50 to 60 millions of gallons of water being spilled, mostly due to leaking pipes, broken irrigation systems, and other affected systems. Now, think about that, y'all. Okay, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is an interactive channel, and so please let me know your thoughts on the topic. Okay, all right. So going back to the article, the spokesperson said that if the number gets to 105 or 110 million gallons of use, that will exceed the plant's ability to treat the water adequately, and they would need to issue a boil water notice. So that's where the boil water notices are coming from, because so much water is being used and just spilled. That, from my understanding and my research, that drops the water pressure. Okay, thank you all so much for giving this video a thumbs up. Listen, if you're watching and you say, Andrea, you're sharing some helpful information, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Share it so that other people you love and care about can get this information as well. Okay, and please feel free to share your thoughts and your comments in the chat. Okay, again, we're on talking about the water crisis, how so many different situations are happening in multiple cities and multiple counties and multiple states all throughout the South. And you know what? Who's to say that it's not going to move to other parts of the United States? Okay. Many people in the low country, we're talking about South Carolina right now, have not insulated their pipes. Okay. And have not been dripping their pipes overnight. This is according to the article. With the holidays, the article says many are away from their homes and businesses. You got to think a lot of people may have traveled out of town. They may be stuck at the airport. Okay, I shared with you all how in the at the Atlanta airport, there are people that have been stuck there for days. Okay, they even had leaking pipes there, people without water. It's just created just a real crisis. Okay, and the article says, now listen, this is something else to think about. If residents have an issue, plumbers are unavailable. Okay, so in many, you got to think all these situations are happening. People are calling plumbers. And think about if you live in a small city or a small rural area. Okay, you may only have just one or two plumbers. There may not be enough qualified, skilled people to do the job. And then that what creates a long wait. And as you continue to wait, your problem may get worse and worse. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right. Hi, Busy Mom. Thank you so much for tuning in, and welcome to the channel. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to pull the comments up. I'll look at them right here on the channel. Let's see. Wow. That's something to think about, Busy Mom. I haven't heard an unusual amount of, you said heartburn, maybe related to the water. I haven't heard that. But again, who's to say? I don't know. But I pray, if you're experiencing that, I pray that you be well as other people. Okay, those who are going through that. But there are some people who would say that there are many waterborne illnesses and things like that. So please be careful and take care. Okay, Busy Mom, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel and join our community and stay informed if you have not already. Okay, so thank you so much for your support and for your comment. Okay, again, let's see. In South Carolina, families dealing with burst pipes this week on Christmas. Okay, one family noticed water spraying all over the side of their home. They said they felt helpless. They felt helpless, especially because they had a 3-year-old. Okay, they even called plumbers for 24 hours, but no one answered the phone. All right, so imagine, they're having to call for help. No one is answering the phone. Okay, with research and the help of friends and neighbors, that person was trying to fix it on their own. Okay. Um, let's see. Broken irrigation systems. The article also mentions if you have an irrigation system in your yard, this is a time to disconnect it from your water supply, even if you do not have a leak. Okay, they do encourage everyone to check their home, check their business or building that you have not been to in a while. Check for a water leak, running water under your home. You often can hear it in the pipes in the building. And if you find it, they say this is very important. Turn that water off. Make sure you know where your shutoff valve is, which is typically located in a hose, build closet, it says, to your water, closest to your water meter. Okay. Let's see. In conclusion, this article says we're hoping not to get a boil water notice. Okay, again, that's been happening all over Georgia, but they said that major implications in your home, restaurants, hotels, it will require about 3, maybe 3.5 days of boiling water for use of doing dishes or brushing your teeth or cooking. Okay, all right, so that is news out of Charleston, South Carolina. All right, let me keep going. In Fulton County, okay, which is Atlanta, Georgia, there are some concerns by relatives of the Fulton County jail inmates of reports that there are, and I quote, inhumane conditions after a water main break. Okay, so let's see. This news comes from Fox 5 Atlanta. It says that in Atlanta, loved ones of inmates at the Fulton County Jail are deeply concerned about what they're calling, and I quote, inhumane living conditions inside the facility that's currently without running water. Okay, officials said that a ruptured water line following extremely cold temperatures across metro Atlanta left them with no choice but to shut the water off as they work to complete repairs. Okay, someone reported they're having to use the bathroom in trash bags. That this person also said it's been days since her particular son had been able to shower or use the toilet in his shared cell at the Fulton County Jail. Okay, she also said it's been going on 72 hours without water. On top of that, this person said her son and other inmates are also without heat. And while that winter storm brought below freezing temperatures to metro Atlanta, they were told they couldn't even walk around with blankets. Okay, and then the person is saying how she's, was just very hurt by it. She knew the conditions inside of any jail would likely be uncomfortable, but the thought that her son was in that situation brought her to tears. Okay, now the article says a statement from the Fulton County Sheriff's Office said portable toilets had been set up and inmates are receiving bottled water while the water line is being repaired. Okay. The statement went on to say that the sheriff is on site at the Fulton County Jail, monitoring progress and the well-being of detainees. Fox 5, the news station that I'm actually referring to, reached out to a sheriff's office spokesperson for comment on this person's allegations about conditions inside, which include the lack of heat, water, and toilets, but did not hear back as of late Tuesday evening. Okay, so many concerns even for the inmates at the Fulton County Jail. Okay. All right. You all let me know your thoughts on the topics that I'm sharing. Please feel free to comment in the comments. That story, I could, I couldn't imagine how it seemed like, the mother felt in this situation, feeling helpless. It's not like you can just, freely walk into a jail and just go visit your loved one. Of course, there are checks and systems set in place for that, certain hours, certain times. And so my thoughts and prayers are with this mother, that she gets the answers and the helps that she needs. Okay. All right, y'all. So that was out of Atlanta. Another update to kind of let you all know what is going on in Georgia related to this water crisis. They're still saying the water main breaks issues continue for portions of metro Atlanta after the freeze. They have issued boil water notices for certain areas. So that's what's going on in Atlanta. I do want to talk about a story that, I feel like is very concerning. And it even makes me ask the question, okay, where are our elected officials in the time of this crisis? So this is one story that I found as I was just searching Fox 5, which is in Atlanta, a news station. And the title of the article says that seniors, okay, our senior citizens, seniors struggling with burst pipes, lack of water for days at what the article says are Decatur apartments. Okay, so let me read this article and you all let me know your thoughts on this. Okay, the article says the temperature may be rising. Okay, remember I said it's supposed to be getting warmer. The temperature may be rising, but the frigid Arctic blast is still causing problems around metro Atlanta. Okay, for the senior residents at a Decatur apartment complex, it says burst pipes and freezing temperatures have left them without service for days. Okay, we're talking about senior citizens. Okay, Christmas was anything but merry for one resident. She said that I'm doing miserable, real miserable. These are her words. Okay, this is a quote. She says, I'm doing miserable, real miserable. She said, my water has been off for 4 days. Now, think about that, y'all. We're talking about senior citizens, many who, may not be able to really do for themselves. They may not be as, physically strong to get out and fix things. They're having to rely on, their landlord people to fix it for them. And they're going 4 days without water. Uh, excuse me. She said she has had no service since Christmas Eve. She said you can't cook, you can't flush your toilet, you can't take a bath, she said. Okay. Um, the senior citizen is one of a number of residents, the article says, at the senior apartment complex without water. Her son and grandson had to bring in bottled water, the article says, just to do the just to do the basics many of us take for granted. Okay, she said they had to bring me water in buckets. She said it's just hard. Okay, now this is what I'm gonna tell you all. I'm gonna be honest. This is what I thought about when I read it. I here in Georgia, I covered right here on the channel how we had the recent midterm elections and then the runoff elections with Raphael Warnock, Herschel Walker. Of course, now we know Raphael Warnock. He won again for another term, and so it made me wonder. Okay, and I even did some research on this. I said, well, surely, if he is getting out and championing the vote, the black vote, to be more specific, certainly, and he's boasting about how he has advocated for lower prescription drug costs, and he's really campaigning and targeting specific groups that include senior citizens, right? Um, he's targeting their vote, and I said, surely at a time like this, when things like this are going on, surely he has to be somewhere near the front lines, advocating for help for them, right? Now, as of yesterday, as of last night, I had not seen where he made any statements. I had not seen where he called on. Now, I will say Governor Brian Kemp, who is our governor here in Georgia, he declared a state of emergency, which, if you're not familiar with that does free up resources, funding to help people in different areas. But I saw no statement from Raphael Warnock. And here it is, a group that I say is one of his target groups when it comes to his campaign and voting for him. He has not made any statements. I have not seen him anywhere on the news bringing water or calling on, our state government or our federal government to bring help to Georgia. I haven't seen that. So it makes me ask the question, where is Senator Raphael Warnock at a time like this? The very people that largely, I would say, helped get him into office, I don't see him out now advocating for and, on the front lines trying to help them. What is that about? Now, if someone sees anything, please share on the channel where maybe I can go look it up. But as of last night, I have not seen him make a statement. I have not seen anything. Okay. All right. Hi, Nick Smith. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support. I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our community if you have not already. So, it just makes me ask the question, and I even, feel like, okay, the people that you elect and put into office, they need to be held accountable for working for their people. And at a time like this, when it seems like he would be really on the front lines, I don't see, like I said, as of yesterday, now this could have changed today. He could have been doing something very big to help the community. I don't know. But as of last night, I did not see Senator Raphael Warnock. I didn't see him making any statements or doing anything to help his community, specifically the black community, which I feel like, and maybe the data supports this as well, I don't see him really out fighting and advocating for help for the very group of people that were largely responsible for putting him into office. I don't know. You all can let me know your thoughts on that. Okay. Again, in Atlanta, we're talking about the water crisis that actually has is going on all across the South right now. And the article that I'm referring to is from Fox 5, where senior citizens are struggling with burst pipes, lack of water for days at a department a apartment at an apartment complex in Decatur. And again, I asked the question: where is Senator Raphael Warnock? Why is he out? Why is he not out? Um, Campaigning, not campaigning, I'm sorry. Why is he not? He was campaigning to them. Okay, he can show up. It's funny how he can show up, and a lot of times these elected officials can show up to get votes, but when it's time for work to be done, for action to be taken, you don't see them anywhere. Okay, why are they not being held accountable? Why is Senator Ralph Warnock not even being held accountable for helping and advocating for the people that largely were responsible for getting him into office? That's my question. Senior citizens, they should not be going through this. Like I said, I believe that everyone should have access to clean, drinkable water. Why are our senior citizens going through this? Okay, it says elderly, disabled Atlantans, okay, are going days without clean water, showers, and frigid temperatures. Why is that the case? Why isn't Senator Ralph Warnock doing anything about it? Okay, and they're also saying that residents say the management is ignoring them. Okay. Here's a quote by one of the residents said, when you get at this age, you expect you've given your best life. You've given your best in life. And at this age, just a little bit of respect would be nice. Okay. These people want respect. They're in their latter years of life. They're saying when you get at this age, you expect you've given your best in life. And at this age, this is a quote by a resident. They're saying they just want respect. Okay. The icy weather cracked water mains and pipes all across the metro area. Four counties issued boil water advisories. Okay, they say the officials say they are working as fast as they can to get everything repaired and hope the warmer weather helps prevent any more problems. Okay, that's what's happening in Atlanta. Okay, you all please let me know, what are you seeing, what are you feeling, what are you hearing in your local area? Okay. I want to talk about Greenville. Okay, this comes out of Greenville, South Carolina, where they're saying that downtown Greenville businesses are closing. They're closed after water pipe breaks, and fire crews offer tips. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening in Greenville. You all let me know where you're watching from. Okay, I share with you all, I'm here in Georgia. Please let me know where you're tuned in from. Okay, temperatures, the article says, on Monday rose a little bit above the sub-freezing lows they hit over the weekend, but the problems the record cold weather brought continue. Okay, that's where this water crisis is coming in, y'all. Now, in downtown Greenville, several businesses were closed as they appear to be dealing with the aftermath of a broken water pipe. Okay, one business on Main Street posted a sign on the door saying it was closed due to flooding. A pizza restaurant was closed, and standing water could be seen through the front glass on the floor inside. Okay, plumbing crews said employees came into work and found water pouring out the door. Calls to the business went unanswered. These are some of the complications that are happening, y'all, all across the South, and they are unfortunately contributing to what some other articles are calling a water crisis here in the South. Okay. There was another business that where standing water could be seen with water or ice outside of several businesses. Okay. The local news station in Greenville, it says, also received dozens of calls and emails and messages from people who were suffering after their frozen water pipes burst. Okay. That's news out of Greenville. Let's move to Tennessee now. Okay, this information comes from the Tennessean. Do I have any subscribers or supporters? Any of you all watching from Tennessee? All right, from the Tennessean, okay, the Tennessean.com. Here's an article that says cities across the South face water issues, boil notices in wake of winter storms. All right, the article says that the fallout from the winter storms and frigid temperatures have triggered water issues in cities across the South, including Memphis, Nashville, Atlanta, and Charleston, South Carolina. Okay, many of which I've talked about right here on the channel. Now, officials across the South, the article says, warn that more water main and pipe breaks may surface as the ground thaws and moves in the days to come. That's the point of this video, y'all. I'm trying to get you to see that with all of these situations popping up left and right, front and back, side to side, all over the place, more may be coming. Okay. And if it's several pipes that are bursting, plumbers, they can't just take care of everybody at one time. And in one article I read a few days ago, they were saying they had to turn people away because they just simply didn't have enough manpower, qualified, skilled workers to get the job done in a timely manner. Okay. In Memphis, Tennessee, much of Memphis was still under a boil water advisory Tuesday as Memphis Light, Gas, and Water works to repair several broken water mains. As of Monday, the article says, as of Monday night, MLGW, Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, said it fixed 20 water main breaks and was working on 7 more. Officials said it may take several days to lift the boil water advisory and return water pressure to normal. Okay. Jackson, Mississippi. Okay, I talked about Jackson, Mississippi, several weeks ago, when they were having some issues. Well, guess what? It's back again, y'all. Okay, thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Now, I appreciate you all for your support. Say hello in the chat. Let me know that you're there. And also let me know where you're watching from. I'm talking about several cities and states in the South where, due to the very cold, frigid temperatures, they have caused pipe breaks all in several cities. A lot of areas are experiencing a water crisis. Okay, that's why I have always said, even prior to this, please make sure that you have water. Okay, please make sure that you have. Now, this is a 1.5 liter bottle, but make sure that you have water, okay, in your emergency food supply, your survival needs, because all it takes is just one crisis, y'all. This is not something that people were planning for, okay? Now, whether this was a planned event, I don't know. You all can tell me your thoughts on that, but all it takes is one crisis. More water, okay, water, I would assume, because of everything that's happening, water is in high demand, okay? Several months back, even a year ago, I showed you all how in Sam's, when the pandemic was going on, they were actually placing limits on water. They were placing limits on the amount of water you can buy. So please make sure, okay, get water while you can. I have a video where I said, hey, you need to get this now. You need to stop what you're doing and do this now, because in the coming days, weeks, we don't know if water is going to be scarce, hard to find, or much more expensive. Okay, you all give this video a thumbs up if you feel like anything that I'm saying is helping you and giving you some things to think about so that you can take action. Okay, all right, y'all, going back to what's happening in Tennessee. Okay, in Tennessee, I'm sorry, Jackson, Mississippi. Okay, Jackson, Mississippi is under a boil water notice due to a loss of system pressure and declared a state of emergency. Now, if you remember, I did a video on Jackson, Mississippi, and I talked about their water crisis. Well, they're going through it again. Okay, the city, the article says, was plagued by water issues and extended boil notices earlier this year. I talked about that, as its aging water system failed. On Friday, the article says, Congress passed a budget bill that would direct $600 million toward the water system. Okay, Metro Water Services in Nashville said low water pressure may be due to unidentified breaks. Okay, here's a quote by the Nashville utility, who says, please check on homes of neighbors and family members out of town and businesses closed for the holidays. Okay, a burst pipe can cause extensive property damage and stress the water system if not shut off quickly. Okay, thank you all so much for giving this video a thumbs up. Hey, if you find the information to be helpful, or if I'm giving you something to think about, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Share this video. Also want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. Is there anyone who is watching for the very first time? Somehow you were led to my channel or you found my channel. Please let me know if you're watching for the very first time. If you are, I want to give you a big welcome and a shout out also. Okay, so please let me know if this is your very first time tuning in. Okay. All right. You all, please let me know what you're seeing, hearing, feeling in your particular area, or if you have family members who are experiencing any of the issues that I'm talking about, please let me know. Okay. All right. Also happening, let's see. The article says, now while Charlotte, North Carolina was not experiencing any widespread outages, crews were still responding to calls regarding interrupted service citywide on Tuesday morning. Officials urge residents not to panic and to take precautions to avoid frozen pipes. Okay, they're saying check with your neighbors and call 311. Okay, if multiple houses are without water. Okay, that's according to a Twitter post by an official there. Okay. In Selma, Alabama, okay, the mayor declared a local emergency as leaks and pipe bursts put the city at risk of running out of water. Okay, I'm not making up any of these stories, y'all. These are real situations that are happening. And again, it's contributing to a water crisis right now here in the South. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to Louisiana. Okay, Louisiana water issues have also plagued Shreveport, Louisiana, and the surrounding areas. Outages, low pressure, and boil orders have blanketed the city, the article says. The Barksdale Air Force Base also reported little to no water pressure and was placed on a boil water notice on Monday. Okay. A boil water advisory is also in place for parts of Sebastian County, Arkansas. The county's emergency management team dispatched large water tanks to two rural fire departments and said it may be several days before water is fully restored. All right, y'all. I pretty much listed a lot of different counties in the South, right? So much so many things are popping up left and right, y'all. Left and right, front and back, side to side, all over the place, right? I'm not making a joke of this. This is very serious. This is a very serious water crisis issue that is going on. So much so, y'all, that the next article I'm gonna tell you about is quite shocking. And they're saying this is according to 11 Alive, who's saying that in Metro Atlanta, so much is happening that the emergency lines are overwhelmed, and police ask the public not to call. Hold on, y'all. The article went away, or it was a pop up. In Metro Atlanta, the emergency lines are so overwhelmed that the police ask the public to not call 911 for burst pipes. Okay, police stress that it's important to keep the emergency lines open. Okay, the article says as the nation grapples with a wave of winter weather, emergency officials in Georgia are advising people to know when a situation warrants a call to 911. Pipe bursting, the article says, doesn't necessarily make the cut. That's according to the article says the Gwinnett County Police Department. The agency said calls about pipes bursting throughout the county are overwhelming the 911 system. They do say, here's a quote, if you encounter a burst pipe, please do not call 911. It is important that we keep these lines open for emergency calls. That was a post on social media. They were advising people to refrain from calling dispatchers unless there's an urgent emergency. Okay. So you all let me know your thoughts on that. They're telling people, hey, don't call 911. You got to get in contact with the plumber or your leasing office, your landlord. But they're saying don't call 911. Okay, what are your thoughts on that? The American Red Cross had this to say in the wake of pipe issues, and they advised the public to follow these steps. 1, shut off the water at the main water valve. 2, electricity should be cut off to the area of the home with water. And 3rd, to call a plumber. Okay, you all share your thoughts, please. Now, also with everything that's going on, okay, we got water pipe bursts. We have low water pressure. We have boil water notices, boil water advisories. We have multiple people calling plumbers, anyone in the plumbing field. We know their work right now is in high demand in these areas. Another thing to think about, y'all, okay, according to Fox 5 Atlanta, okay, I hope that I'm sharing information that's helpful to you all. If so, please give me a thumbs up, like this video, share this video, and I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe and join our community, okay? I'm not saying that I'm the only person talking about this, but I do take time. I like to engage, interact with my subscribers, my supporters. This is an interactive channel, okay? So if you would like to share your thoughts in the comments, go ahead and comment below. I do encourage you to share your thoughts, and I'll respond, okay? Now, something else to think about, y'all. With everything going on, we know there are going to be insurance claims. We know that there are people who are calling plumbers, they're trying to repair the damage, get everything taken care of. Well, listen to this, y'all. The Better Business Bureau warns of repair scammers taking advantage of freezing weather. Okay, check this out, y'all. This comes from Fox 5 Atlanta. And the article says that the freezing winter weather has caused major problems for many Georgians' pipes and heating systems, and consumer experts are warning vulnerable residents to watch out for scammers. Scammers, y'all, trying to take advantage of the moment. Okay, now the article says when you have issues like a pipe burst or your heat goes out, you want those repairs to come as quickly as possible, right? And we can agree to that. But it says if someone comes along to fix it with a deal that's too good to be true, experts say it probably is. Okay. Excuse me. Now, the Better Business Bureau says scammers are targeting Georgia homeowners who are now finding themselves searching for a fast fix after days of freezing temperatures. Okay. They call these people, and I quote, storm chasers. This is what the article says. Here's a quote by someone from the Better Business Bureau who says illegitimate contractors that travel to areas recently affected by severe weather and go door to door offering their services and then disappear after accepting your money. Okay. One big red flag, the article says, is if they are trying to pressure you into a sale. Okay. Be aware. This person says, and I quote, you want to avoid hiring anyone who uses high pressure sales taxes like a today only offer, or you have to pay up front first without any work being done. Okay. Another tip the article says is people who may be trying to hide their credentials. Think about this, y'all. They don't want to share their credentials. Listen to this. Here's another quote. They always say we can do it right now. You don't need to check my background. You don't need to do any research. These are some key words, key phrases, key sentences they may say. Anytime, the article says, anytime a contractor comes to you with that, you automatically say, no, thank you. And I quote, because we are seeing that these contractors are not licensed. Okay. The Better Business Bureau says you should make sure to get everything in writing, including a written receipt for payment, especially when the work is done and paid in full. Okay. Also, try to take your time making decisions. The article says, just breathe and take your time because I understand it's very frustrating, especially after the holidays. That was a quote from someone from the Better Business Bureau. Okay, you all let me know your thoughts on this information. That is something to think about. And like I said, I know people want to get the work done as quickly as possible so that they can have running water, and it is cold. But we got to think, times like this, there may be scammers popping up trying to make a quick dollar. And so these are things that you have to still keep in mind. Okay. Something else to keep in mind is to pay with a credit card if you can. That way you can potentially dispute any charges if the contractor does a bad job. Okay. You should also check with your insurance company first to see when you can get covered or to see what you can get covered. Okay. All right, y'all. So those are some updates on the water crisis that is going on in the South. I want to open up the floor for any questions. Okay, if you all have any questions, you can type your questions in the chat. Please let me know if you have any questions. Any questions, comments about the current water crisis? I'm going to check my chat here. All right, so are there any questions related to the water crisis? Okay, you all can let me know if you have any questions. And I'll give you all maybe a minute or two to answer. I know sometimes it takes some time to type. Please let me know if you have any questions related to the water crisis. In my computer, my laptop is giving me the message to say, hey, I need to be charged. So let me get my charger really quick. Oh, I see it right here. Let me just lift this up. Does anyone have any questions about any information that I covered? Any questions? No question is a dumb question. So if you have a question about something, please ask. All right, I just put a link in the comments. You can get your emergency food supply, your survival needs. I do have a website, which is preparewithandrea.com. Also, if you would like to make a monetary donation to the channel, you may do so at, and also put the link here. That's kofi.com/Andrea Speaks TV. Okay, you're able to make a donation in whatever amount that you choose, and that will be used to support the channel and continue to help the channel grow. Okay. All right, y'all. If there are no questions, I want to say thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Andrea Speaks TV. I do go live weekly. I upload new content, new videos every week. So again, subscribe to the channel. I'll type this in the chat. All right, so you can subscribe to the channel and join our community, okay? All right, does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns? Anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns? Let me see. All right, y'all. So that's all for today's episode. I want to thank you all again so much for watching, for tuning in. Be blessed, stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you all again in another video. Take care, and thank you so much for supporting Andrea Speaks TV.